think you're the only one going through it. You think you're the only one that messed up. You're the only one that stopped reading your Bible. When you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, when you can't see that ray of hope, then you want to do what? Quit. I'm Pastor Bill Krause. God has used me to help thousands of others. Now I want to help you break through. Because you only go after the person with the ball. So if the devil is coming after you, and remember, he's going to use the people where? Closest to you. Did you ever notice that? The people that love you the most are sometimes the praise the Lords in your life. I'm just fortunate that I'm surrounded by such a great supporting cast. You know, you better believe it. And you see, but don't quit, because here's the deal. If we were to go down throughout the people and interview them on the camera, on the internet, in their home, in the venue here, no matter where we went and we asked, you're going to find the majority of the people are going through a struggle, an attack, an assault, in many cases an all-out assault on you. And here's what he tells you. You're the only one. Everybody else is just reading their Bible and getting the most revelation they ever got. And everybody else is coming to prayer every morning. The only one missing is you. And come on, help me out here. Right or wrong, that's what he's telling you. You're the only one that missed church. You're the only one that feels lonely. You're the only one that's... Come on, nobody else will even understand if you told them. Why? Because, listen, quitting and isolation go together. The devil wants to isolate you. He wants to separate you from the first banana away from the bunch gets peeled. You want to stay in the group. You want to stay in the bunch. When you're feeling attacked, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling discouraged, that's when you need to go to church. That's when you need to talk to a brother or a sister. That's when you need to call the church office. That's when you need to look to somebody and say, listen, I need help. But you don't even have to know them. Just say, I need help. Don't walk away from me. Don't leave me here. I need help. I need somebody to pray with me. I need somebody to talk to me. I need somebody to take my phone number. You see, don't count on any other system. Be the system. I'm not saying we don't have a system, but stuff falls through the cracks. I don't care who you are. People feel deserted. People feel alone. I don't care if they're married, widowed, single, divorced. It makes no difference. Some of the loneliest people are people who have people in their life that are part of their life, and they still feel alone. Come on, can I hear an amen? You know, hopefully you're not there, but if you are there, you're not alone. First of all, God will never leave you nor forsake you. Second of all, we do love you. We do care for you. We are praying for you. We think you're terrific. But if you don't communicate with us, if you don't talk to us, if you don't open up your heart and share with somebody, how are they going to know? So you need to open up. I want to talk about Joseph tonight. Joseph was a fine young man, had a connection with God, loved the Lord. The Lord gave him dreams and visions. He had a hope and he had a future, just like you. You know, you have all these things too. But he is just excited about life, and God's speaking to him through dreams, and he's young, and his daddy likes him, and he's got the best clothes, man. This ain't Nordstrom Rack stuff, man. This is on the front row, baby. This is right off the top of the heap. You know, this is cutting edge, new line clothes. He's got the best of the best. But there he is. He's got the world made, and God begins to give him dreams. See, and when you get a dream, let me tell you something, people are not going to be happy with you. I don't care, you know, some of the people that you would think would love you the most, get excited the most. You're trying, you're excited, you're bubbling, you're jumping up and down, you're shouting, you're screaming, you're going for it. You got it going on. But they say, well, that's not going to happen for you. Yeah. Who do you think you are? Right? Take no thought, have no fear. Genesis 37, beginning with verse 5. Now Joseph had a dream, and he told it to his brothers. I've been teaching this for over 40 years. I'd have to think of how long, but over 40 years. You tell your go-up goals to people who can help you go up. Yes. Don't tell your go-up goals to the people at work that, boy, I want to be the supervisor of this department one day. Go to the supervisor. You think telling your friend, that will get you in trouble. If you'll go to the supervisor and say, Miss Supervisor, Mr. Supervisor, Madam Supervisor, listen, you're the boss. I'm telling you, I'm looking. I'm looking for you to get promoted. I'm going to do everything I can to get you promoted, and then I want to take your job. What do I need to know to get your job? I don't want to kick you out. I want, as you're promoted, for me doing a good job and supporting the staff and everything. But if you share with your brothers and sisters, I want to go into ministry. I want to be an evangelist. I want to, come on. I want to heal the sick, raise the dead. I want to multiply food. I can see myself on television. They're going to, forget it. I don't even know if you could preach, Do you even read well? You know what I'm saying? See, so I'm just giving you a good piece of advice. Don't be sharing all your dreams with everybody. Now, if you're giving up something, then tell everybody, because they'll say, I thought you gave up chocolate chip cookies. They'll do it just to see what you're made of. But let me tell you the truth. So if it's a give-up goal or dream or desire, go ahead, share it with everybody. But if it's a go-up goal, dream or desire, make sure you're sharing it with the right people. So Joseph had a dream, and then he told it to his brothers, and they hated him even more. Now wait a minute, see, before he even told them the dream, they hated him. Now, let me tell you something. When people hate you, don't be telling them your dream. Don't be telling them you're called. They're going to say you're called, all right. You're called to nothing. All right? All right, so moving right along. Verse 6, so he said to them, please hear this dream which I've dreamed. Not only going to tell them I had a dream, he wants to tell them the dream. And they're figuring out real fast this dream's about them. They were binding sheaves in the field. Then behold, my sheep arose and also stood upright. Joseph stood a little taller. And indeed, your sheaves stood all around and bowed down to my sheep. This is when you get excited, right? Yeah, this is when it really becomes real to you who your friends are. Say, man, I'm looking forward to bowing down to you. I'm so glad you're being raised up. But someone will be saying, yeah, don't be going there with me. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. And his brothers said, shall you indeed reign over us? Who do you think you are? You're the younger, you're the little brother, and I'm the big brother. So you better get yourself in line with what's right. Or shall you indeed have dominion over us? And so they hated him even more for his dreams. And, now wait a minute now, it's not just his dreams now, it's for his words. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something. If you have a dream, people are going to hate you. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what political party you belong to. I don't care what your thoughts are, beliefs are. It don't matter. People are going to hate you because most people don't dream. Most people don't have aspirations to live a better life. They just want to coast. And now you're exceptional. I get it. But most people don't want that. They want to keep their business small. They want to drive an older car. I don't want to pay that higher license plate fee. You see, and they're living by a license plate fee instead of the car God wants them to have. I think we should all do whatever God's telling us what we ought to do. But see, don't quit just because people don't like your dream. Then he dreamed still another dream, and he told it to his brothers, and he said, look, I have dreamed another dream. And this time, man, it's not just the brothers. And at this time, the sun and the moon, in other words, daddy and mama, and the 11 stars, that's you brothers, even the little brother, bowed down to me. Now, I just want to let you know I'm going to be the new pastor at this church. And I just want you all to know the thing's going to be different now that I'm in charge. Yeah. Okay. See, so he said to his father, now, sometimes maybe God was just using Joseph to set himself up. Let me give you some good news. You ready? If you want to really be promoted in life, you're going to have to do some hard work. No, really. And you're going to take some heat. And the higher you go, the more heat you're going to take. I don't care who you are. Don't care how you do it. Don't care what you want to do. But if you want to be on the rise, there are going to be people that can see you. It's easier to see somebody up on the mountain than it is somebody down in the valley. You can hide in the forest. You can hide in the bushes. But when you get up on the mountain, it gets a little more sparse with the greenage. And you stand out more. And when you're climbing that mountain and you're compelled to quit because the going gets tough and you're running out of breath and come on, right? And then people are shooting at you. They're doing everything. They're praying you'll slip. They're praying you fall. Why? Because they're not doing it themselves. See, the brothers weren't aspiring to leadership. So he told his father and his brothers, and his father rebuked him. Whoa, it's getting heavy now. See, what did I tell you right in the beginning? It's going to sometime be the people closest to you. It's going to be your best friend at work. If you tell them you're going to have the boss's job one day, you're going to run this company one day. You're going to have people that loved you, liked you, appreciated you, but can't take it that you're going to be up at a different level than them because they're happy here or don't think they can ever get out of here. So they have to, you all know the story of the crabs, right? In the crab bucket, and the crab's climbing out. And then the other crabs got to pull them back down because they're getting out of the bucket, you see. And you don't want to be the crab, see, which means don't be crabby. Which means don't be crabby because, you see, you don't want to be pulling others down. You want to be the one that says, listen, you want to get out of the bucket, Mr. Crab? I'm going to come down here and you just climb. You just lean on my leg here, on my back. You just get a leg up and get out of this bucket because I can see you want to go somewhere. And I don't want to force you to stay here. I want to give you a leg up. And then maybe when I see you get a leg up, I can find somebody else and I can get a leg up. Are you with me? You should be helping people. You should be encouraging people. One of the best ways to not get discouraged, one of the best ways not to quit is if you will make sure you're pushing forward. Come on, hear me now. That you'd be pushing forward, that you're not putting people down, you're bringing people up. Because it's all of our job, our brothers and sisters, that you would exhort one another, build up one another, take and put them in a place, help them see the truth. And what the truth will set them what? Free. I want to help somebody go up. I'm not intimidated by what they call competitors. I say, I don't have a competitor. I'm talking about in business, anything. You ever driven down a freeway, one of the main highways in the United States of America? Ever notice that on this corner is a Burger King? And on the same exit, there's a McDonald's? And on the same exit, there's a Carl's Jr. or whatever the going Kentucky Fried Chicken. They're all kind of clustered there together, and they don't care. They just want you to get off, and eventually somebody come into their shop. And they don't say, my God, I sure wish McDonald's go out of business. They say, no, I want McDonald's in business because somebody in that car don't want McDonald's. And they're coming over to my chicken place. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So we need to be more, we need to be more like fast food. We need to see that there is no competition. And that, come on, there is, somebody's number one and somebody's number two and somebody's number five. I get it. But there is no competition because do you ever notice? I just went to a restaurant the other day. There was a 1 hour wait in this place, and there was a no wait in this place. They're both great restaurants. They both had good food. They both had good service. But there's no wait here. I went to the no wait. I decided I didn't want that kind of food so bad. When I could come over here and get great food, just without an hour wait. So let's see this. So he told it to his father and his brothers, and his father rebuked him, and he said to him, what is this dream that you have dreamed? Come on, what are you thinking? Shall your mother and I and your brothers indeed come to down and bow down to the earth before you? Come on. Yeah. And his brothers envied him. What did they do? They envied him. But his father, here, listen to me, see. You get a little older, you get a little wiser. But his father kept the matter in mind. Now listen, what happens next? His brothers go out to work. His father says, go check on your brothers. He goes to check on his brothers. His brothers see him coming. They don't say, wow, the brother's coming. Maybe he's bringing some fresh biscuits from home. They said, let's get that little turkey. Let's have Thanksgiving early this year. Here's what I want to tell you. If you don't quit, you win. No, listen very closely to me. If you don't quit, you win. You know why that's true? Because Joseph, we're going to go through it. We'll probably come back next session and do this again with Joseph. But what does Joseph do? Joseph goes to his brothers. He gets thrown into a pit. They strip him of his fancy garment. They take his precious robe that he loves, believes in, respects, honors, grateful that his father gave it to him. Well, what is he saying? How'd I end up in the pit? All I did was come out to say hi to my brothers. All I did was take the time to obey my father. Here I obey my dad, I do what he says, and now I'm in a pit? That's not fair. I did what was right. I went the right place. But let me tell you, if you're obeying, who's ever saying and has the right to say it, you're going to end up in God's land with God's plan. And no matter what comes against you, no matter who tries to do what, no matter who says what, when God has said, when he's put a dream in your heart, the only one that can ever steal that dream from you is you. God gave it to you. The gifts and the calling are without repentance. And if you don't quit, you win. The only way, you've got to understand this, the only way that you can ever lose out on that thing that God has for you is you quitting. And that's what the devil's after, because he knows that you're the one that's carrying the ball. He knows that that ball cannot be stripped from you. You have to throw the ball down. You are not going to fumble unless you let go of the ball, unless you quit your call, unless you quit your ministry, unless you quit your marriage. I've seen too many people, listen, as long as anybody hung on to the marriage. Come on, you've got two people. One of them, I'm getting divorced. I've seen people, we have a 6-month rule, you're divorced in 6 months, 6-month waiting or whatever. 2.5 years later, they're still not divorced. Why? Why are they still not divorced? Because somebody's still believing. Somebody's hanging on. See, both of you have to quit because the two are one. Who's hearing what I'm saying? See, you need to not quit no matter what. You need to not quit. You need to refuse to quit. You need to refuse. In fact, one of the seminars that I do, I teach in there the nevers. One of the nevers you need to commit to is that you'll never quit. Because if you commit to never quitting, then when the quitting opportunity comes up, you say, wait a minute, I already decided and I never quit. So even though I feel like quitting and it looks like I should quit, I have already decided. Come on, help me out here. See, it's the same thing. See, I decided when I was a young man that I would never do drugs. I'm never going to do drugs. It's not that drugs were prevalent or I knew I'd be facing drugs. I didn't know how widespread they would be like they are today and even in my day, we know at different times. But I made a decision. So therefore, what happened when drugs were presented to me? I had already decided that I would never, I didn't say you'd never have drugs. And even though the people that I lived with did drugs and sold drugs and the people were the parties I went to. Now, okay, I was at the wrong party. I wasn't saved now, just putting it all together for you. No, but I want you to see that even though drugs were there, I wasn't participating because I said I would never do drugs. And when I got in the circle, I just passed it to the next person. When they were passing out whatever they were passing out, I said, no, thank you. I learned that even the drug people didn't say yes all the time. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So I learned to blend in or not raise a ruckus and not make a big. I will tell you a quick story here, talk about never and don't quit. One day they pinned me down. You know, a bunch of us guys, and we're doing things that guys do, and we're drinking beers, and they're smoking marijuana. And they finally said, one guy says, you're going to smoke. I said, no, I'm not. He said, you're going to smoke. I said, no, I'm not. They get me down on the ground. They pinned me down. Now, you know, 6 or 8 of them, they got me pinned down on the ground. Then they got somebody holding my nose. Then they get a couple guys holding my mouth, and then they put the cigarette up there in my mouth. And I said, I'm going to die before I smoke this. I'm not going to breathe. They let me up because they knew my never was my never. I didn't hear you. You need to make a decision tonight that you'll never quit. If you do not make a decision that you'll never quit, you're going to face quit. And quit will come on you not once, not twice. Quit will come on you until you quit. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what you do. You talk to us married folks that are married. It wasn't that quit didn't come. It was that we didn't quit. It wasn't that there wasn't 100 good reasons or 1,000 good reasons to quit, to not be married, to give up, to run away, to cease and desist this order. But because we decided, it was no different. You're kidding yourself to think they were having a rougher time. No, the only difference was in the rough time, we decided that we wouldn't quit. Somehow, we were graced. It wasn't that we were better. We're not belittling anybody that did. We just stuck in the yucky, mucky, come on, not as pleasant, could have been better, should have been better, would have been better. Doesn't matter how you say it, doesn't matter what you do with it. The truth is we chose not to quit. That's why we're married. That's why we're still in business. That's why we're still preaching the gospel. It wasn't that challenges didn't come. It was that we said, no matter what pit you throw us into, no matter what prison you put us in, doesn't matter if you shackle us. Someone just preached the other day and said that Paul was up to at least his waist or the middle of his chest in human waste. When he was in Philippians, in that jail, when he wrote the book to the Philippians, not when he was in Philippi, but when he wrote to the Philippians, it was yucky, it was stinky, it was awful, and that's when he wrote the book of joy. Why? Because somewhere Paul said, I'm not quitting. When he was in prison, I'm not quitting. When he was beat, I'm not quitting. When he was in the deep, when he was drowning, when he was left for dead, when he was stoned, when he didn't feed him. Come on, it didn't matter what he did. He somewhere made a decision that I'm not going to quit. And if you're not going to quit, you have to make a decision you're not going to quit. And then you have to remember it. Come on, right? It's just like marriage. The only reason the married people are still married is because somewhere they decided not to quit. Only reason I didn't do those drugs, even though when they were endeavoring to force me to do that, I said, and when I did that, they said, this guy's serious. Because I'm not doing it. Because of some decision that I made 5, 8, whatever number of years before that event took place, I said I would never, and I have never, and I did never, right? Yeah. If you, see, that's why I believe in teaching the nevers. Yeah. There's nevers you shouldn't say, but there's nevers you should say. And one of the nevers that you should commit to, that should be written on stone, written on everything that you ever think, do, or say is, I will never quit. I will never quit. Everybody say it. I will never quit. And that's exactly what you've got to do. And that's exactly what you're going to say. Because then here's Joseph in a pit. And if you read it and you get to that part of the scripture, there was no water in the pit. It wasn't just there was no water. There was no water. And it says, and his brothers went to eat. He's in the pit, no food, no water, nothing looking good. Where's his dream? Where's his coat that said he was special? He has nothing designating that anything is anything other than in his heart of hearts, God said, you're going to rule and reign. You are my champion. And in the New Testament, he said that to all of us. And you and I have to make the decision that Joseph meant, that no matter what kind of pit they put us in, no matter what kind of thing they say, no matter what they take away from us, no matter what they try to do, no matter where they go, it doesn't matter to us. We refuse to quit. We refuse to do anything but win. And when it doesn't look like we're winning, then we declare we're winning. And if it doesn't look like we're going to make it, we've got to know we make it. I don't know if I've got enough time to tell the story, but God gave me a vision one day, and it was me. I'm laying in the mud. There's a tank on top of me. There's no human way to get out. And then God speaks those words that he spoke, and he says, you shall fulfill that thing for which you have been called. And I bust out of there like Superman. And I throw that tank off of me. Man, it's impossible to do. But I bust out of there, and I come out of that mud, and I'm clean, and I'm standing there, and I know that I win. I know that if I don't quit, it's only if you quit that you cannot win. You've got to choose, decide that I will never quit. There's nothing, there's nobody, there's no circumstance, there's no situation. I win, I'm a champion, I'm God's man, I'm God's woman, I cannot be defeated, and I have overcome.